Got a question on the aisle left side.
Ryan Mosley, ESPN here in Dallas. Coach, what have you learned about the Big 12 in your short time here?
Well, it's been nothing short of what I thought coming in. It's an unbelievable conference, and you've got great coaches and great players, and that was part of the reason that I did come. I mean, you want to be a part of that. You want to coach against the great coaches and play against the great players. And every weekend, it's a scrap, and you're playing in some of the greatest stadiums against some of the greatest coaches and players and programs in the history of college football. And that's an awesome challenge, and I think all that does is just pull the bar up for everybody else. You look at kind of what Missouri and Kansas have done the last couple of years, and I think everybody continues to get better, and that pulls everybody else up.
Got a question on the aisle middle.
Yeah, Andy Friedlander with Longmont Times Call. Can you you talked about since you're going to be coaching a position that you had gotten away from coaching, you had all this other stuff that you were going to do. Who does all that other stuff now? Does this take away from the head coaching?
That would be the director of football operations. But, you know, sometimes you get caught up in a lot of other things, too. And I'll just have to budget my time a little bit better. You know, I've been real gregarious and trying to do as many things as I can outside of, because we needed it, particularly at Colorado, whether it's talking to faculty or community or the students or whatever, or even extra media time. So, you know, you just have to limit that and make sure you budget your time accordingly there, because I've got a lot of stuff I've got to get done every day.
Question on the outside right.
And Tim Griffin from ESPN.com. You had a celebrated loss of a player at your wide receiver position, and there's a perception outside the program that it's going to be a big loss as far as playmaking ability. I just wonder if you could talk about maybe some of the players you've got there, and if you feel like you might be able to surprise some people by some of the talent you've got.
Well, again, like I said, we like the young guys that we have in our program right now. We feel like those guys are going to be great players. I've been really impressed with their attitude and their attention to detail and their selflessness this summer, as well as the rest of the group. So, you know, at the end of the day, that's the big thing, is having everybody on the same page, and we look for those guys to make some plays. Obviously, Scotty McKnight is a guy that's been around and been battle-tested, and we'll rely on him a lot. But I do think those young guys have a chance to make some plays for us.
We got a question in the middle.
Tom Kinsler, Denver Post. Dan, what's the timetable for the quarterback
We'll just
situation?
see, Tom. We'll just see how it plays out. You know, obviously you want to try to get something done before we get ready to get into the final stages of prep for Colorado State, our opener. But it'll play out like it plays out. Might be early, might be late. We'll see.
Question on the outside left or right.
Barry Trammell with the Oklahoman. Dan, a lot of debate in the last year or so about Big 12's got all the offense, but SEC has all the defense. How much credence do you put in that analysis?
Well, it's hard. You guys probably have a chance to at least look at the other conferences probably more than we do from a real technical standpoint that way. I don't know. I know sometimes people pick on the defenses in our league because there's so many offensive numbers, but I just think it's because of the great talent that's in our league, and then obviously spreading people out. It's very difficult to defend.
Got a question on the middle aisle.
You talked about the quarterback position. How open is that position? Is Cody come in as with the advantage?
He probably has an advantage just from the standpoint he's a little older than Tyler, but you know, when we get going, we'll divide those guys up and they'll share reps, and we'll see how it goes. I've also always been one of those guys. I don't know how you always just say, well, somebody's the incumbent and that's the way it is, and there's no challenge to that. I think no matter who it is or where we are at any position, I think we want guys to show up every day and compete and play and make plays and play well every week.
Any more questions for Coach? All right, Coach, we're going to ask you to stay up here for the one-on-ones, and best of luck for the season.
Thank you.